The Buy Wizard School Coding Tournament is here. So, what is this all about? These 90 minutes check your coding skills and give you prizes worth 5 lakh INR. And if you're one of the top students, you get an iPad Air, a tablet, or gaming laptop, Bose headphones, etc. etc. and all the exciting prizes. The top 100 students get an extra letter of recommendation from our CEO and a free access to our paid courses as well. So, what are you waiting for? If you can think of getting more students from your school, you can reach us out at school@geeksforgeeks.org, and you have to get a minimum of 50 students from your school, and you will be eligible to get prizes like a tablet or a smart band, etc. etc. So mark your calendars, guys. 26th of January, 6 to 7:30 p.m. See you guys there. Happy coding.
Okay. Hello, everyone. So, welcome to this session, and I hope you all are excited for this session. So, I would give you a brief introduction about me. My name is Avneet, and you might have seen my Python videos on Geeks for Geek School. In this session, we are going to have an amazing talk with Akash. So, let me give a brief introduction about Akash. Akash is a computer science graduate, an educational YouTuber, and a motivational speaker. So I hope you all are excited to meet him. So let's invite him and we would have great talk with him. So let me invite Akash. Hello Akash, how are you?
Yeah, hi Avneet. I'm doing good. I hope you are also well.
Yes, I will. So Akash, I just introduced you to the people that are watching us live right now. So why don't you give us a brief introduction yourself? Tell us more
Yeah,
about yourself.
sure. So, hi everyone. Very good evening to each and every one of you who are right now watching this stream. So, I am Akash Dash. Currently, I'm in the final year of BTech as a computer science engineering student. I will be graduating in just 4 or 5 months. Apart from that, I am an educational YouTuber. I create educational videos for school and college students, sharing about my experience, how the journey goes as an engineer or engineering student. Apart from that, in my free time, I enjoy doing Python automation projects. So, yeah, that's all about me.
Thank you. That's great, Akash. That's great. So,
Thank you.
Akash, while I would be asking you questions, but for our audience today, I would like to tell you, you can also ask Akash your questions in the chat section. I would see your questions and I would ask on your behalf from Akash. So, if you have any questions for Akash, make sure you mention them in chat while I ask Akash the questions that I have. So, let's start with the first question, Akash. So,
Sure.
what made you develop an interest in coding? Did you have a friend, a teacher, a mentor, or maybe a family member that introduced you to this programming world? So, it's
Okay. So, first of all, I would like to start that there was no particular person who was involved in getting me introduced to programming. I initially got introduced to programming by one school senior, but before that, I started observing the real life objects. Like, for example, in our home, we have TV, remote, then mobile, personal computer. I was always very much curious to know like how actually these things are working. Whenever we are pressing any button in the remote, and the TV channel changes or the volume increases or decreases, there must be something or some kind of coding is done. I was not aware about coding. So one school senior was there. He was basically the son of our school principal. So I contacted him. I asked like how actually one clock works and how calculator works. So as he was senior, he was having little bit more knowledge. So he shared with me like programming is done behind everything. Whenever we are calculating plus minus multiplication division, everything is coding. So apart from that, he introduced me like in our home washing machine also there. So whenever we set timer, so that buzzer sound comes. So this is also coding. So from my real life objects only, I got introduced to programming, and rest everything once I got to know about the basics from the school senior. I researched about it from the internet and I got introduced to programming.
Oh, that's great. So maybe we can say that the senior was a mentor for you, like
Yeah,
introducing you to this. Okay, that's great.
exactly.
That's great. So again, I'm asking the people that are live with us right now. You can ask your questions in the chat, and I would ask on your behalf from Akash. So make sure you mention them in the chat. So now let's move to another question. And this one is something that even I would love to ask. What is your favorite programming language? Do you like the concept? Like which programming language is your favorite?
Okay.
So, like, if I
So
tell you about, oh, sorry, if I tell
yeah,
you
yeah.
about myself, I right now I have keen interest in web development and Python. So
Okay.
that's, if you ask me, I would say, web development and Python are my favorite languages. So, what do you
Okay.
have a take on?
So if I have to answer in just single word, it will be Python. And before that, my favorite was C++. But if I have to explain the journey in just 1 minute, the answer will be like, first of all, when I was in class 10th, HTML, CSS were there in the school curriculum. But there were no teacher to teach those things. So that was the main
Yes.
concern. That's why for the first time, I got introduced to actual coding in class 11th, and the language taught in the school was C++. So before C, I learned C++. Then in BTech, I learned C. Then after that, I learned Python and Java. So that was the roadmap. And yes, C++ was my previous favorite language. Right now, also I do C++ coding, but current favorite language is Python programming.
Python, yes, yes. So,
Yeah,
from Python, we have machine learning, many concepts are,
yeah.
nowadays popular. We would get to that. But, I
Yeah.
have another question. Do you like the concept of game and app development? It has, we have seen a hot, increase in, people pursuing their careers in game development and app development.
Yeah.
Young kids, they also get excited whenever games and apps come. So what do you have to say about that?
Okay. So right now, many students are very much curious about playing those online games like PUBG and Call of Duty. But few students are also there who are very much interested in the development process, like how
Correct.
actually the character is made, how the background is set up, and
Yes.
how actually everything works. So this is really a very nice concept, and it is a hot topic in recent years, and I really like it. And one more thing is we can get awareness about these topics from the GFG school channel itself. So all the school students who are watching right now, I would recommend that go and follow the GFG school channel, and you will get to know about those recent hot topics from the channel itself. So that's my opinion.
Okay, that's great. So now we have a question from one of our, the students that want to ask you. So his question is, sir, now I am in class 10 and I don't know anything about coding, but I'm
Okay.
interested in learning, and that's great. So how can I start? He needs just,
Okay.
how can he start? He's in class 10, he wants to learn coding. So maybe
Okay.
something, a tip for him.
Sure, sure. So first of all, I would like to suggest that study your school subjects. Don't ignore that. Apart from that, we will be coming to those questions where we will be talking about time management at all. But before that, I would like to suggest like you focus on maths and physics. These are the basic subjects which we are going to use in programming. Physics little bit if you are more into game development or app development. But before that, mathematics is mandatory. Okay. So you focus on maths, start implementing mathematical formulas. For example, you right now, as you told that you are in class 10th, you must be knowing about prime numbers, odd even numbers, and calculating the area of a triangle using Heron's formula. Try to implement these things using programming. Any language, start with C, C++, Java, anything, just implement the basic mathematical concepts. After that, you will got to know about object oriented programming, web development, Android development. Those are the later stages. But initial stage, I would recommend like start with mathematical formulas, area of a circle, rectangle, then you will enjoy the process.
So I hope she got a good idea how to start, and I thank you so much, Akash, for the answer. So I hope Mantasha, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name correct. I hope you got an idea, and I hope it was helpful for you. So now let's move to another question that I have for you. So my question is, 1 minute. What are Are you working on any projects right now? Like any special
Okay.
projects that you would like to tell us about?
Sure. So right now I am working on daily automation using Python programming. This is like really a cool stuff. What happened? Like I have a particular daily routine. I wake up, then I read news, I listen to two or three songs of my preference. Then after that, like I check the task list, what are the things that I've set yesterday night for today, then what are the next meetings or appointments I have, what are the videos I have to shoot. These are like monotonous tasks which I have to repeat on a daily basis. So manually I have to do everything, like check the emails, play the songs, then after that search for the news. So to reduce this monotonous activity, I am working on a project right now where it will observe my last 24 hours activities, then it will train the model. Like AI and ML is also used in these things. So it will train the model and it will suggest me like what are your top 3 songs that you listened in last 24 hours or in last 1 week data. Apart from that, it will also suggest me like what are the next choices you can select for the song. I'm particularly talking about song. Apart from that, local or national news. Apart from that, international news. So all these things are covered in that in order to reduce that monotonous activities. So that is the project I am right now working on.
That's great. That's great. So, I would ask, a question joined with this. What are your views on, machine learning and artificial intelligence? It has seen a great increase, demand as well, as well as interest. So you can see that the students are getting interested about what is machine learning, what is artificial intelligence. So I would like to ask you, what is your take about it? So
Okay.
what would you like to say?
So, machine learning and artificial intelligence are like the trending topics, and this is like the future. As I mentioned in my previous project or the current project that I'm working on, I'm using machine learning and artificial intelligence. So, if in one sentence I have to explain what exactly is machine learning or artificial intelligence, we humans are having natural intelligence. We know how to take decisions, do this or do that. But machines don't have that intelligence. In order to
Yes.
train the machines to make them artificially intelligent, we are training them. So that is what machine learning or artificial intelligence. So my view on this, like if you are curious about computer science, coding, or the trending stuffs, this is the domain you should start with. And one more experience I would like to share, like last year when the COVID was at the peak, the second wave, I got one assignment from my college professor, and I worked on a project that was completely related to COVID, where it was predicting the total number of cases and total recovery rate, how many people are going to recover the next day. It was taking data for the last 2 to 3 months. So that was another project which included machine learning and artificial intelligence.
Okay. Thank you, Akash. Now related to machine learning and artificial intelligence itself, the FANG companies. Now, for the students who are new, FANG companies means Facebook. Then we have Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google. All these companies are, investing huge amount of capital, money and research on machine learning and artificial intelligence. So do you think it's related, because these are actually very big companies, like they have a take at future. So what would you like to tell our viewers today about this?
Okay. So as you mentioned about the FANG companies, like Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google, these are like the top companies.
Okay.
And in our daily routine, at least like 5 to 10 times we'll be using their services or products in any way or the other. So if those companies are very much curious and investing a lot of money on artificial intelligence, this shows us that these are the trending domains and future is going to be dominated. Like for example, if we are watching any show on Netflix, so based on our preference, they are recommending us the next episode, next show, what we have to watch, or on which language we have to watch. How they are doing this? They are doing it by monitoring our activities, by monitoring our preferences, and they are using intelligence. Like we are having intelligence, but they are training the machine to develop their own intelligence. So that's why I'm really curious about the different models that they are working on. And I would also suggest the students, like, just take the interest and start with it.
That's great. That's great. Again, I'm asking my viewers, if you have any questions for Akash, make sure you ask in the comment section. Akash would love to answer your questions. Now,
Sure.
next question from my side would be, did you take part in any competitive coding events? Like the competitive coding competitions from Google, Facebook, Microsoft. They are held every year. So, what did you take participate in any one of them, and what would you advise young learners, young learners like yourself, about these
Okay.
competitions, who are just starting with coding? What is your suggestion for them?
Okay. So yeah, I participated in many coding competitions, competitive coding. Apart from that, 24 hackathons I have also participated. This was really a very great experience for me. And apart from that, I am the chairperson of the IST chapter, that is Indian Society for Technical Education for my college. So I got the opportunity to organize such events like 24-hour complete coding. They have to start from the idea, they have to build one prototype or demo product or demo service that they are going to offer. So all this becomes possible whenever we are having one proper mindset. And how these things are going to happen, we have to think about the application perspective. Like in the schools or colleges we are taught about the theoretical approaches, but whenever we will step out of it, or we will look out for other opportunities, the only thing that comes into my mind is competitive coding or coding competitions, where practical knowledge will be shown. For example, the farmers are facing any problem in the agriculture domain. So how we can solve that? Maybe we can develop one portal, or maybe we can create an app so that that will be easy for them to measure the sources, the fertilizers, or the cost cutting. Everything that can be done. Apart from that, my project was also related to agriculture only. That's why I mentioned about agriculture. So yeah, I have participated in many coding competitions.
Okay, so that's great. So I think young students, who young learners, they all should take, it's like kind of a check for yourself, how much knowledge you have, because this is
Exactly.
actually, they get an idea how much they know, because we
Yes.
can read everything, we can, just do questions, but when actually you participate in something, at, what level your knowledge is, right? So I
Yes.
think you all should participate in such competitions, because it's amazing. You get to know a lot, your knowledge increases, and you even get a check about where you stand. Just for yourself, you
Yes.
should participate there. So let's move to our next questions. Um, okay, so I think 1 minute. So my next question to you is, what are your views on introducing people to coding at young age? For example, we have Elon Musk who started coding at the age of 10, or we have Bill Gates who started coding at the age of 13. They started learning coding at a young age. So, what do you have to say about this? What are
Okay.
your views? How young
Sure.
should we start with coding?
So before that, I think I missed the last question, the second part of the last question. That was, what would you advise the young learners like yourself who are starting to learn coding? So I will mention just two things. That is about good mentor and consistency. These are the two things that is much required. Like without a mentor, you will be searching like, okay, I will start from this. You will continue for 1 or 2 days. Then you will think that, okay, the second resource is better. I will start with that resource. But a good mentor will suggest like, do the first thing from this resource, do the second thing from the other resource. But without any guidance, you will be completely scattered. And the second thing is about consistency. If you love coding, maybe you will love it for only 2 days or 3 days. After that, you will lose interest. But if you want to excel in this domain, you have to maintain consistency. For suppose you have set time, like I was talking to one class 10 student last year. I took his interview as well. He developed a lot of automation using Python only. There he mentioned like, sir, I have one proper routine. Anyhow, I have to study my school subjects for 4 hours, and I'll do the coding for complete 2 hours. So this is my schedule that I maintain. Apart from that, uh, in that consistency part, you have to do it for a longer run, like every single day, not for 1 week or 2 week, for like 1 year or 2 years. So for that time period, you have to maintain that. So that will be my advice for those who are just starting to know. And coming to the current question, what are your views on introducing people to coding at the young age? I will tell that like this is seriously needed. And there is one video, a small video on YouTube that I watched about Bill Gates. In that interview, he was talking about like in whichever domain you are, maybe you are a doctor, maybe you are a lawyer, you should have the coding mindset. Like what the coder thinks. Coder always thinks about problem solving. Whatever problem we are having in our society or in our daily routine, we try to solve those problems. If a doctor is doing biological things or is into implementation, he must be talking about finances, he must be maintaining his finances. So we can maintain our finances using the coding part as well. So that's why Bill Gates also recommends like coding from a very young age is really necessary. That will help our mind to train to tackle the problem, to find solution to the existing problems. So that will be my advice. Like you can watch the video after this interview gets over. But yeah, coding from young age is really recommended.
Okay, that's great, and that's a very good advice. So I hope you all should, start learning young, so it would help you. So let's move to another question. And while I'm asking my questions, you all can also ask your questions in the chat. On your behalf, I would ask from Akash, and he would love to answer your questions or your doubts. So make sure you ask them. So my next question from you is, what are your go-to websites, to go to learn about coding? Like you want to learn something. Where do you go? What's your first take on it? So what would you say about it?
So there is only one single answer to this question. The starting is this, and the ending is also this. That is gigs for gigs. From the very young age, like when I started with C++ in class 11th, I just searched about array in C++. I got the suggestion from an article from Gigs for Gigs. I read that article. I understood in a very well manner. After that, in class 12th, I got to know about like a little bit of web development, then SQL code, and for that also I searched, and that topic was available in Gigs for Gigs. And in engineering also, whatever problem I face, I just simply Google it, and article from Gigs for Gigs will pop out, and I will read the article, and my problem will be solved with practical illustrations, explanations. Everything is there. Like this is the only go-to website that I use in every single day. Right now, if I'll check, like 20 to 25 tabs will be open from Gigs for Gigs article. Today afternoon only, I was installing one software. I faced one problem in the technical keyword part. I searched it, and then Gigs for Gigs as the solution.
That's great.
So
But
that is the sweet and simple answer to this question.
even I would say, when I was completing my BTech, there are so many topics, and when we are new and in college, you don't, it's mostly on yourself how you learn. So I would tell you all, me, my friends, before preparing for exams, rather than books, we were on Geeks for Geeks, searching for answers, for
Right.
topics, the keywords. So it's not because we are right now on its
Mhm.
channel, but it's actually
Yeah,
the truth. It's like the go-to website for everyone.
exactly.
So let's move to the next question.
Okay.
Did your school provide any special classes for kids to learn about computer science? Like when I was in my school, so in 11th 12th, like it's part of the curriculum, they used to teach C++. And for younger kids from 6th to 10th, for all the students, we used to learn HTML, basic HTML.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
did your school provide any such special classes, for kids to
Okay.
learn about computer science?
Okay. So when I was in my school period, like 6th to 10th class, computer course was there, but no faculty was there present. So that's why I will consider that no proper facility was provided for learning computer science. But in class 11 and 12, mandatory course was there, mandatory subject was there. So from there, I learned C++ in class 11 and 12. But when I passed out, like uh, in the year 2016 or 17, I came to know that yes, computer courses are introduced, but they are not that much effective. They are in the pilot stage, they are just starting it. So that's why many students are switching online for learning. But my school was not till now not having that much feasible environment for the students, school students.
Okay. From the part, where you said that science courses are being introduced, so that leads me to my second question. What are your views on schools implementing compulsory computer science courses? Recently, I think there has been a change in the curriculum where it is been, made mandatory for computer science for students. So what is
Yeah.
your take on that?
This is really a great initiative. Like the basics will be clear from the beginning itself. If the student is planning for software engineering or computer science engineering, definitely having a clear basics in the school stage will help them to get into programming. Apart from that, I will like to give one small simple example. For example, we are having one cake, birthday cake. If I'll suggest the student like eat this complete cake right now, it will be time taking as well as difficult. But if I'll cut the cake into small pieces, and I will recommend the student like eat 2 pieces in the morning, eat 2 pieces in the afternoon, and the rest in the night, then it will be quite easy for the student to take it. So that's what I want to talk about. Like if I'll consider the cake as programming, if few things are taught in the school, then basics part will be clear, the remaining part is taught in 11th and 12th. And once he gets into proper computer science domain like engineering domain, then the advanced topics can be cleared easily. So
Yes.
yeah, this is really a great initiative for compulsory computer science subjects.
Yes, I think this is actually a great initiative that it is being made mandatory for computer science courses. So I think it's a great initiative, and it would introduce young minds, because now I would just take example in India. There are students who actually do not know what coding is. So this is for them. Maybe they would make great coders one day. So I think that's great. So let's move to our next question. So my next question is, how did you manage your time between, school studies and learning coding? This is actually a good question, because, parents, nowadays think that, only mandatory subjects, like math, science, physics,
Yes.
if, you divert them and, you go to learn something else, which is not part of the curriculum, they would, their marks would be affected. So, the parents, feel that it would affect the students' studies, school marks. So,
Yeah.
what would you, first question of the question would be, what is your take on that? And how would you advise students to manage the time, so that they
Okay.
can do the schoolwork properly as well as learn coding? So, what would you
Okay.
suggest them?
The same question, I got the answer to this question when I was interviewing that class 10 students who developed one Python application. So right now he's in class 10th only. He faced the same problem. His parents were also not allowing him to code on a daily basis. So that for that, what he did, he made one task list. Like I'm having tuition from this time to this time. I'm having homework, and after that I will be completing these and these exercises or questions. After that I will be focusing on coding, and anyhow I have to do that. That sincereness or the obedient nature from your side is required. And I would recommend, like when I was in the school time also, I followed the same method. At that time I was not having any mobile phone or smartphone gadgets, so I started with pen paper method. Right now I am having everything like Apple, iPhone, iPad, everything. I am writing it, I am setting the reminders, so many apps are there. But for a school student, I will recommend start with the pen paper method. Take a small piece of paper, uh, plan your day, like write the task that you have to complete, what are the homework or the subject wise assignments you are having, how many hours tuition you are doing, and after that what is the one topic that you are going to read in the programming domain. Start with one topic per day method, and the next day you do the practical. And in this way you will be able to manage your time. And the another technique that I used, I got to know about this technique from a very young age, that is Pomodoro technique. I think you must have heard about it. Pomodoro basically means dividing your tasks into 30 minutes duration. I have to set timer for 30 minutes. I will start doing the work, and after 30 minutes I will take a small break of 5 minutes, or after that I will again work for 30 minutes. In this way I will I will be able to manage my time. I will be dividing my task or time for the school studies compulsory subjects. Apart from that, coding will be like handled very smoothly.
Okay, that's a great suggestion from your side, and I hope that the students would now they would take your suggestions and would try to implement them. But I have a question from one of us, viewers. So I
Hmm.
would just display it for you. I have
Okay.
taken course of machine learning by scratch. How will I
Hmm.
learn from Geeks for Geeks site? What will my topics to learn daily? Because there are 15 topics. So I
Okay.
think from where she learned, so
Sure.
there were some topics. So how would she
Okay.
find the topics that she has to learn
Okay.
in an orderly
So
manner?
yeah, that is the advantage of course. Like whenever you take any course, the course structure is in a completely structured manner, like first topic one, then topic two, then topic three. But if you are searching on YouTube, like if it is not in a playlist manner, you will be deviated. I will watch this video, then I will watch the third video, then I will think that okay, I missed the second video. So if you are doing it from any particular course, maybe you have taken it from Geeks for Geeks or Geeks for Geeks site, you will see that everything is in a proper organized manner. structured sequential manner. Whatever the order is there, do it in the same order. Like do the topic one today, then the next day revise the topic one. Like if you will think like the 15 topics are there, I will complete each topic, means one topic per day, I will complete everything in 15 days. No, right now you are a school student, you have to manage the other task as well. So for that I will suggest revision is mandatory. I always recommend my students like there is one simple medicine that you have to take every single day, once in the morning after waking up, and second time before sleeping, that is revision. Whatever studies you are doing, just revise it. So if you are studying the topic one today, revise the same topic tomorrow morning and before sleeping as well, so that it will be fit into your mind. I hope I am clear with the answer. So
Yes, that was
just
a great
study it every
answer.
day.
For your help, Natasha, I would have a suggestion. Geeks for Geeks is launching a school guide. It is launched. You can register there. It's completely free for the students, and you can study. There are course wise. There are courses for all school students from class 1 till 12th. You can join that school guide. It is totally free for students. You can join, you would get certificates, you would you can watch course videos, there would be quiz questions for you. So if you want to go through machine learning once more, so maybe, or any other language like Python or Java, I think you should check out Geeks for Geeks school guide, and I'm sure you would get the link in the description for this slide. So I hope you got the answer that you were looking for. And now let's move to one more question with Akash. So my question for you now is: do you think social media can be used, as a tool to promote learning? Because nowadays, during when I was a young student, we didn't get mobile phones. I would tell you
Yeah.
truthfully, our parents, we used to just use their phones. I got my phone in 12th or 11th. That was the first time then I got my mobile phone. But nowadays young
Okay.
kids have mobile phone, they have online classes due to COVID, they have their own mobile phone tablets. So it has, they also have social media accounts. So do you think this social media can be used to promote learning and help students to learn about computer science? So basically,
Okay.
if I make a short question from it, is can social media be used in a productive way for students? So what's your
Okay.
take on it?
So straight answer will be like yes, of course. Now the question comes like how we can use that social media in a productive way. My answer will be like follow those pages which are going to help you. Like there are so many pages like ML India is there in Instagram and Gigs for Gigs also there. So there they upload regular roadmaps and mind maps. These roadmaps basically helps us like what will be our starting point in learning anything and what will be our end point, and in between what are the different diversifications possible. For example, you talked about machine learning and artificial intelligence. Now the question comes like what will be the roadmap to learn machine learning, what are the softwares that I have to download. So everything is mentioned in particular single one page note. In the web development process also, if you are starting web development, it's not like you would directly start from CSS or JavaScript. First of all, you have to start with HTML. So these roadmaps or mind maps are provided in various social media platforms, and short form video contents are also there. I was checking Geeks for Geeks school channel. So many short content or short videos are uploaded where different short questions like why Python is necessary, how you are going to use it, how it is installed. These short videos will definitely help you. These are made only in favor of the students, those school students, because we know that in this 21st century the students are having very less attention span. Because of that the short videos are created. And apart from that, you have to maintain the daily time limit. Like I have to use social media for 1 hour or maximum 1.5 hours. After that I'll completely cut it off. I'll focus on the hardware or the book medium. I will study it from the book itself. So that will be my opinion on how to use social media in a productive way.
That's a great opinion, and I think everyone should limit the social media use, and it should be a productive use as well.
Yeah.
So Now, one more question that I would like to ask: what is your overall take about students learning coding, or about students participating, young students, basically school students, because once we go into colleges, or then we have something set in our mind mostly, but for young students, how important it is to learn coding. So, what would be your take
Okay.
on that?
So it's not like Akash Das is speaking or answering this question. The question is already answered by Bill Gates. As he mentioned, like in whatever domain you are and whatever age group you are, you have to learn coding. You should have that programming mindset, problem solving attitude. So if opportunity is being provided to you, like the coding different courses or different environments provided by Geeks for Geeks, and whatever the opportunities you are getting by interacting with the seniors, by interacting with the different websites, you should be able to take maximum out of it. And if you are, as I mentioned in the cake example, if you are starting from a very young age, it will become easy for you to tackle the future self. So that's why you have to start, and if you are starting, you have to gain interest from the very beginning itself. And apart from that, yes, you have to be sincere with yourself. Whatever coding you are doing, whatever programming you are doing, without sincere effort or without a mentor, it becomes quite difficult. You can take the course, you can take help of a mentor, and you can follow the different guidelines, roadmaps provided in the website. So my suggestion will be like Geeks for Geeks website and Geeks for Geeks course. And whatever the opportunity you are getting, stay up to date with it on a daily basis, and everything is sorted. Like you don't have to worry about it or any other headache. Everything is already served in before you. You just have to take it. So opportunity is right in front of you. That's
Oh,
all.
that's great. Thank you so much, Akash. But like Akash mentioned, that you have to grab the opportunities that you are getting. So I would tell you about a great opportunity that is coming on Geeks for Geeks for school students, especially. So on 26th January, Geeks for Geeks is conducting a coding competition by Wizard tournament. It is specially for the school students between classes 8 to 12. There would be 20 quiz questions of 100 marks, and there would be two coding questions which you can 100 marks each, which you can answer in any preferable language, C++, Java, Python, whichever you like. You can win prizes up to 5 lakh. You can win certificates. It's a great opportunity. So you all should grab it. It's a free competition, just you need to register. And if you would like how to register for it, you can just go to the description for this video, and you would get the link. Make sure you all register. It's a great opportunity for you all learning, and practicing, and even checking what you know, or what all you can know from others. So make sure you participate in it to learn more. And I hope you all would participate. And thank you so much, Akash, for this amazing session, for encouraging and motivating all the students, or all, whosoever, who all the people that joined us today. And I hope everyone got to learn something from you today. I got to learn many things. So it was a great session. Thank you so much, Akash. And for all
Yeah.
the students and all the people that are watching us today, make sure that you take participate in the competition, the tournament, by visit tournament. Other than that, grab all the opportunities whenever, wherever you get, because the person who leaves an opportunity, maybe it would take a long time to get another one. So keep studying, keep learning. And thank you so much, Akash. And
Yeah,
it
thank you
was
so
great
much for
meeting you.
inviting me today, for providing me this opportunity. I really enjoyed answering all those questions. I hope, like, when I was in school time, if these questions or the answer to these questions were available, it would have been a different experience. But right now, these answers are available for the school students. They can definitely take the benefit of this opportunity. And once again, thank you so much for providing me this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Akash, for joining us. And whosoever wants to, register for the Biovisit tournament, they can check out the description. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us in this session. Thank you.